Why do all the edgy teenage girls still squeal when they hear that classic Nirvana riff? And how come I still love hearing Pop Smoke go?
Niggas say me outside.
Everybody's seen it happen. Some mysterious artist pops out of nowhere and hits #1 on the charts within days of finding fame. The song goes viral on TikTok, and every video you see for the next 2 months has the same background music until it gets replaced by the next best thing. Sometimes these artists crash and burn after a single hit, but what is it about the artists who go on to become a staple in mainstream media? I took a trip to Denver, Colorado. $24 for this charger. L.
That looks legit. I'm in Colorado. I just got back from Goodwill. Because I brought my camera and my drone, I didn't have any space, so I didn't bring any clothes. So we got the Goodwill drip.
Ended up stumbling across this obscure art tour that was hosted not by a company, but by some random dude who walks people down alleyways of graffiti on Saturday mornings for extra cash. If you're watching this video right now, I'm sure you can already guess, I bought the ticket. In fact, I didn't even find out about it until 20 minutes before the tour was starting, so I paid and then drove like Dwayne from Fast and Furious to catch it before it began. I arrived 3 minutes late, covered in sweat with my camera in hand, ready to either see some really cool street art or be killed in a random alleyway by some guy in Colorado. As we started walking, I realized that my tour guide, was just some normal school teacher with a passion for understanding street art. Eventually, we got to a strip with this giant painting by a guy named Shepard Fairey, who, if you don't know, is the creator of the brand Obey. You know all those hoodies you see when you walk into the store Zoomies? All the edgy hippies and skaters with their beanies on in the middle of summer wear to match their Vans? Yeah, that brand. He was explaining how it was one of the most hated paintings in the city because Shepard Fairey had been paid more than 5 times what the local artists were typically earning on commission.
It is the most expensive mural in Rhino. Basically, this is considered to be one of the more scandalous murals, one of the more reviled murals. Allegedly about $80,000 to put this up.
It really goes to show that if you make any money as an artist, then you're immediately labeled as a sellout and lose respect from the same communities you were once a part of. How is it that the same dude who got arrested 15 times for illegally defacing public property is now viewed as mainstream? When it comes to underground art, popularity will make the art lose its validity, partly due to the financial gain that comes along with the fame. It's the struggle and exclusivity of the pieces that make them feel authentic. Death has a similar immortalizing effect, especially if the artist was young when they died. And this isn't just in street art. Kurt Cobain shot himself in the head while doped up on heroin, and now every girl with black lipstick and fishnet stockings starts to fangirl when they see a chick with a smiley face crop top. I liked Nirvana before they were famous. Bitch, you're 22 years old. You weren't even alive when they were making music. Vincent van Gogh's sunflower painting literally looks like it was made by my demented grandma, but since he decided to dance with a revolver, we put the painting up in museums and praise it like it's some brilliant work of art. Bro, look at it. That shit's clearly mid. Expressionism in the way the color yellow juxtaposes the drooping of the flower. Shut the fuck up. Death has the power to immediately immortalize an artist. Had Shepard Fairey just died sooner, I guarantee this hated mural would have instead been a beloved painting representing a true artist and underground success story. His death would have glorified his art, but instead we're left to see the rebellious dude whose brand represents anti-establishment seemingly become a part of it. There's a reason I chose to walk down alleyways in search of creative inspiration instead of paying to get into an art museum. Apart from a couple walls, most of the art you're seeing on screen wasn't paid for. It was made by people who come home after slaving away at their job for 8 hours so they can buy a few cans of spray paint to cover a wall with. The graffiti is a splattering of color in an otherwise desaturated, lifeless city. Plain brick walls of big businesses built to close you in and steal your money make the perfect canvas to give a big fuck you. I don't need a museum telling me what art is or isn't, and I don't want to listen to a guy in a suit describing the intricacies of Van Gogh's mid-sunflower painting. In recent years, we've witnessed a significant rise in the popularity and visibility of underground art. The most obvious vehicle for this exposure being social media. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have provided a space for artists to showcase their work to a global audience, bypassing traditional gatekeepers. No more record labels, no more art galleries, which means no industry involvement, and no management to dictate an artist's content. Lil Nas X pushed memes with Old Town Road in the background for weeks before the song blew up to #1. The viral nature of social media has enabled artists to reach the masses, propelling their art into mainstream consciousness. In many ways, this is a positive change because it places more power in the hands minds of creators and opens a window of opportunity for aspiring artists. However, this isn't to say that independent artists are entirely free of control. Social media algorithms can be some of the most brutal dictators of all, exclusively promoting specific types of content that get people's attention and dismissing any art that doesn't fit within their parameters. These rigorous algorithms have led many artists to compromise their vision in pursuit of publicity and a paycheck, and it's hard to blame them. I mean, imagine spending years of your life developing a skill and publishing your work only for it to be seen by nobody at all. All of your hard work and talent goes unrecognized for years until you conform to the algorithm to some degree. If you want to turn your art into a career, it's highly likely that you're going to have to compromise on the vision to some degree in order to achieve mass appeal. That's the double-edged sword of becoming an independent artist. You have the freedom to publish whatever you want, but the content of your work can severely threaten your livelihood. Sure, the power is given to the people, but it can be a very selective and exclusive allowance of power. This is why I used to really admire the now banned content creator Sneeko. Whether you agree with his opinions or not is irrelevant. It's undeniable that he was unwavering in his convictions and possessed an extremely rare degree of genuine authenticity. He spent 10 years making videos on a platform whose algorithm actively worked against him, constantly demonetizing his content and eventually banning him from the platform altogether. Anyone who's seen Sneeko's main channel work will know the level of quality and expertise that went into the creation of his cinematic and introspective videos. I'm sure Sneeko saw the ban coming, but the backlash didn't faze him. He held to his beliefs, stuck to his word, and didn't cave to please the algorithm. Everyone was giving Sneeko hate when he started focusing more on his second channel, but bro had spent a decade watching his YouTube peers with half the subs make double the money. Of course he doubled down when he figured out what type of content was working in the algorithm. People were calling him a sellout, but if that were true, then he would have pivoted his message to keep his channel and the income going. But Sneeko said fuck that. And I respect him for it. And it would have been equally as respectable if he had settled down a little to prevent the ban. I really hate seeing people giving creators shit for making money. I don't think Shepard Fairey should ever be shamed for the hefty price tag on his work. He's earned it. Making money doesn't make you a sellout until you sacrifice your morals for it. It's like people want artists to stay broke and hungry forever. It's really sad to see how romanticized the idea of the starving artist is. I get it. Struggle makes bangers. And we love to see the creations that come from the hardship. But once an artist has quote unquote made it, suddenly the script flips and we insist that they either sold out or fell off. The only way to avoid this is to either shoot yourself or OD at the peak of your career. It's fucked up. Perhaps underground art going mainstream isn't as pretty as it's made out to be.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.